That's more like it, Mr. Wayne.
As I was watching this and actually thinking back to Batman Begins, the way you take on the city in this film, it seems much deeper than in the first one. It really does become a character.
Mm-hmm.
Was that something you thought about, or is that just how it turned out?
No, we thought about it a lot because we were trying to figure out how do you move on from what you've done in Batman Begins? How do you make the film bigger and more than Batman Begins without compromising the story and the characters and everything? And I wanted to push further and further in the direction of shooting on location and shooting with a real-world scale. Because even with some of the interiors, you know, the office spaces or boardrooms and things like that, the biggest set you could possibly build isn't going to be as big as the real-world version of it. And so shooting on real locations, you're able to get some of that scope and scale very naturally and organically into the film. And it felt to me that Gotham had to become this huge arena in the movie for these characters to face off in.
Yeah, it felt as if the whole city was kind of crumbling down as the movie was going on, which was a really brilliant touch. I liked it a lot. Were there any kind of concerns going in with this? Because obviously Batman Begins did well enough for you that they're continuing it on. Were there any concerns with maybe not pleasing the fans or kind of going against the comic book maybe?
Well, there's always a risk, you know, with a property like this that has so much passion in its fan base. It's a great privilege to work with characters like that and be entrusted with characters like that, but it comes with a big responsibility too. What we did on Batman Begins is we made the best film possible in the way that we thought best, and we trusted that the fans would feel the sincerity of the intention there to make a great film. And we did the same thing with this film. It did feel like a risk because to a certain extent with Batman Begins you feel like you got away with it. You feel like you did manage to please people, so why mess with that? But we just had this story we wanted to continue. We just had this idea of who would the Joker be in this world, seen through the prism of Batman Begins. Who does that, you know, who is that guy? And we wanted to explore that. So we just dove in and, you know, we've made the film we wanted to make, and now we'll offer it up to the fans and see what they think, and hopefully they'll be at least pleased with the amount of work we put into it, whether it fits their specific read on what they would do with the characters.
Obviously Heath Ledger is phenomenal in the film. You also had Aaron in the film.
Yeah.
Two really strong, more indie actors. What was the idea behind putting them in? Were they at the top of your list, or did they come, you know, through the audition process?
No, I did. You don't really audition when you're working with actors at that level. It's not really a question of auditioning. It's a question of me as a director knowing the actors, knowing their work, and figuring out who's going to work in this role. With Heath, it was a question of when I found he was interested, and we spoke very early on before the script was even in place, and we were on the same page in terms of who the Joker would be in this world. And he was such a phenomenal talent, and I'd known and seen him in you know, Brokeback Mountain. When you look at that performance, yes, it doesn't relate to the Joker at all, but it's incredibly apparent how talented that guy is. And you look at that actor and you say, I know that actor can do anything. So when he sits there and tells me I can do the Joker, I can make this my own, I could create this iconic presence, you trust that, you jump on it. Aaron Eckhart's someone I wanted to work with for a long time. I'd talked to him about Memento and it hadn't worked out, but I'd always sort of kept my eye on him, and he seemed so ideal to embody the idea of Harvey Dent, the sort of heroic side, but with this edge, with this degree of darkness in there that's sort of below the surface. Aaron seemed ideal for that.
And he's also played kind of explosive characters that are kind of just bubbling, you know, within the company of men, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of intensity to his performances, and that's what you're looking for with Harvey Dent. You're looking for somebody who can be like this kind of, this almost Robert Redford kind of, you know, all-American heroic presence, but that you feel this little bit of something just under the surface there.
Was it always the intention to bring the Joker and then Two-Face into this film?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we always, we knew we wanted to take on the idea of the Joker, and the shape of the story came together quite naturally in terms of the Joker doesn't really have an arc to the Joker. This is not the origin of the Joker, this is the rise of the Joker. He cuts through the movie like the shark in Jaws or something like that. So Harvey Dent has to enter the picture as the emotional arc of the story, as the, the backbone of the movie.
Come on, help me! Let's put a smile on that face.